Echo Entertainment and Destination New South Wales.
Ladies and gentlemen, a word from a worthy organisation that deserves and will be receiving the funds raised from tonight's awards, the Charles Perkins Trust for Children and Students. And here now to tell us all about the trust, named after her late husband, the great Indigenous activist Charlie Perkins, is Eileen Perkins, and with her Tom Calma AO, former Social Justice Commissioner at the Human Rights Commission and a trustee of the Charlie Perkins Trust. Make them welcome.
Good evening. Can I firstly acknowledge that we're on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation? Premier, ministers, families of those who are honoured tonight and distinguished guests. Just over 50 years ago, during a soccer match in Oxford, Charlie Perkins asked, "Why can't I go to university?" This led him to turn down a contract with Manchester United and return to Australia to study at the University of Sydney, where he became the first Aboriginal man to receive a university degree. The Trust, in his memory, is involved in a number of education projects known as the Aspiration Initiative, or TAI, and they aim to increase opportunities and support for Indigenous Australian students. Support that includes postgraduate scholarships to Oxford and Cambridge universities, an annual overseas trip to 3 of the top 5 universities in the world for outstanding Indigenous students, a scholarship guide or guidebooks for both undergraduate and postgraduate scholars, and a website, and also a residential academic enrichment program for high school students. 2 years ago, there had not been an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander student studying in a full-time undergraduate or postgraduate degree at either Oxford or Cambridge universities. In October this year, there will be 8 Australian Indigenous students studying at both those universities. Thank you. But the major challenge is to increase the flow of students through the pipeline from school to university. At present, only 3 in 100 Indigenous students in Year 8 will be eligible for university by the time they reach Year 12. 3 in 100. So can I now hand over to Charlie's widow to say a few words. Thank you, Eileen.
We're very thrilled that the organisers of the Les Kennedy Awards night have decided to donate the proceeds to the Charles Perkins Children's Trust Fund. And we're going to show you a small video of the work that we're doing, and I'd also like to thank Richard Potok, who's been one of the chief organisers of all this. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Oh wow. It's meant like a lot to me, really. Like, it means to me it's like belonging somewhere. I've never felt like I belonged really anywhere. At first I was really unsure to come here. I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna be the new girl and I haven't been to the first few camps and everyone's gonna know each other, I'm not gonna be accepted. And then I got here and it's like a big family.
The academic camps are part of a project called the Aspiration Initiative, and it's all about increasing opportunities and support out there for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students.
I wanted to work for the Aspiration Initiative because I felt that they had real integrity in what they were doing.
There aren't a lot of Indigenous students finishing high school with the marks to go to university. That's what our program's about.
They're focusing on the high end of things. They're all about high expectations.
You think to yourself, well, can I lead others if I can't lead myself?
We don't do the pretty stuff here, we do the smart stuff. You know, memorisation techniques, processes, problem-solving techniques.
Critical analysis, moral dilemmas and goal setting.
We build them up in this environment that's really student-centred, where they have agency and they have autonomy.
You do get a lot of encouragement from the people around you about wanting to go to university.
With the kids knowing that I've been accepted on scholarship to Cambridge, they all come up to me and they're like, oh, so what are you doing? And when I tell them my story and I say, I came from exactly the same place as you and I've had my ups and downs, if I can do it, you can do it.
We're looking at maths and we're looking at English and writing skills, but tying into that who they are and strengthening who they are. What we've found is that if the students are strong in themselves and their culture and how their culture influences academic excellence, then they'll do well at school and beyond.
Just learning about culture and learning about things that you wouldn't really learn at school.
Are you going to let somebody else shape your identity?
I don't know a lot about my Aboriginal side. I haven't really met the family from there, so it's good to learn about it. Then you know where you come from.
There's a lot of aspects of your identity that are not what you can touch and not what you can see. They're things that you feel. They're things that have been passed to you from your family. Even like the blackest fella standing naked on a rock on one leg, he's still being constantly made to feel a thing about his identity, like he's not quite black enough or something. Don't ever let anybody tell you that that's who you have to be.
This is my family and I hardly know anything about it. This is my culture and I want to know my story.
Well, I thought it was like just stopped here and all these people were going past.
But I want you to read it critically. I want you to challenge what's there and tell me what's wrong with that text. Are you the one who gets to decide what your brain does?
Yes. They are starting to understand and question certain things about what they should be doing when they're home in their own community, in their own schools.
We teach the kids to question, and that's a really fundamental thing that we do, is we invite them to question everything. And we do that because we also question things.
And we keep evaluating ourselves in how we're doing and the lessons that we're preparing and delivering.
We're all very close and we're of one mind, thinking together and responding.
And if it doesn't work, we acknowledge that and we acknowledge the reasons why and we dig a bit deeper. I kind of liked that we let it flow a bit and we weren't so like, come here and pull in and do this. And
every evening for at least 2 hours, a very long and in-depth meeting. We go through everything that's happened during the day. We have to be constantly moving with where the students are going and what they need. We really make that a centrepiece of our organisation. We're really proud that we're constantly responding and being responsive to our relationships with the students.
Teenagers are changing all the time, so our program's got to adapt to that and got to change for that.
So we've had to really adjust and readjust to how they've come to us. I guess I've seen with a couple of students, it takes a long time to develop that unbreakable bond and relationship because it's always changing each time we see them.
Education for everyone, for these kids, is important. It gives them chance and opportunity in life to do what they want to do and to develop a love for learning, to enjoy discussing these issues and the topics that they've been looking at on this camp. It's just going to set them up for the rest of their lives.
It's really amazing knowing that I'm actually not alone and there's all these people that are going through the same thing as me.
I know that they're always going to be there for me, and you know, if I ever need anything, I could just call Michelle up or Georgia, and they could just, you know, give me some advice really if there's a problem.
The most important thing about this program is that it is not an elitist program. Every student here is honoured to be here, and they're aware of an obligation that they have to uplift the rest of their cohort at school, to uplift their school community, to uplift their families, uplift their entire community. It's not about individual success, it's about group success.
Thank you.